if you guys are not seeing what's going on with Bitcoin right now, specifically, I'm talking about the structure with all the other stuff going around, tariffs, the Bitcoin Reserve, the crypto summit in the White House. Currently, I believe it's happening right now. If you guys aren't seeing how this is all developing, I'm gonna show you guys. If you're not really seeing what I'm talking about, I'm gonna show you guys right now. So, first of all, Bitcoin summit, very important, right? It's currently going on, so we're gonna get more updates on that as the evening continues on. But first of all, the Bitcoin Reserve is happening. It is established. Right now, there's a lot of underwhelmness going on just because the Bitcoin going in there is not newly acquired Bitcoin. It is Bitcoin that has been seized by the US government. So it is happening. But the anticipated buying of Bitcoin is just being delayed a little bit, but we'll see that in the future. It is happening, right? Regardless of tariffs, and all you guys know that tariffs is a big negotiation tactic. It's scaring other countries, other companies, and other countries to want to make deals that will better improve, at least mostly benefit the U.S. But a lot of these countries are in big trouble when it comes to these high tariffs, and these high tariffs, 20+%, cannot be sustained for long, in my opinion. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But going forward, right, understanding that I believe that the tariff fears have peaked. That's why we're seeing a lot of tariffs being either reduced or delayed for a future date, instead of just adding on more tariffs or being more aggressive. The peak is there, and now we're just trying to settle it so we can then go ahead and start moving forward, right? And then the other thing too, jobs numbers that recently have been coming out have been negative, but market is going down. There's a lot of pressure with potential inflation, and it's just not sustainable. It is short-term fear giving us an opportunity to acquire more Bitcoin, and I did buy more BITU today. I'm gonna go over that position later in the video, so you guys can see what that breakdown looks like. But in order to go over the structure on Bitcoin, understanding everything that's going on right now with this asset, you guys already know though. You guys already know. This isn't an MSTR or MAR video, but you guys already know MSTR. Amazing accumulation opportunity we had back here. I gave you guys, once we broke this gap, right? This support gap that got broken due to fears. We had an incredible buying opportunity within the accumulation zone. Ever since then, we popped up. Now we're trying to see if the price can consolidate a little bit, have enough of a reasonable retracement, come back down into some imbalance down here before we can start pushing up higher. As of right now, as you can see, we do have momentum going down, so we can get that next support coming up soon. And the moment the price reaches down into this red, amazing buying opportunity. Same thing with Mara. We had an amazing buying opportunity within this red structure, and especially when it broke down below it, aggressive buying, right? Ever since then, we started pushing up higher. Now we have confirmation of a change of structure, right? We broke over the 120 moving average and we came into this gap right here. I'm gonna make a future video understanding the short-term risk and what I'm looking forward to this in a future video. That's a video in itself. But really, what can we be looking at with Bitcoin, and why did I decide to add today with all this tariff fears, regardless of some positive news with Bitcoin, right? And that is because, and I explained this many times before, and before I show you guys my actual position, I want to go over the amazing opportunity we have in front of us, right? So if you guys understand this massive rally we've had previously right here, previous massive rally last year, and then a big consolidation factor in that rally. During this time, we had just interest rate fears, but at the same time, retail was feared. Retail investing and trading has been feared out, and institutions kept taking advantage of this and buying in the background. Ever since then, we had a massive rally, right? Because we're still in the bull market, and there's so much demand is much stronger than supply. Next thing you know, we pushed up higher. Now we're trying to factor in that big push up as a consolidating sideways to have a big push up. Differently this time though, we had fear due to tariffs aggressively pulled the price down into a much deeper value area. But at the same time, everything's the same. Demand is much stronger than supply. Retail is being feared out, but at the same time, institutions governments and states are taking advantage so bigger players are taking advantage uh, by taking advantage by just buying more Bitcoin. They're buying while retail is feared, and that we're seeing everything the same, except this time we have a much stronger foundation. Now we all know that big CME gap, right? The CME gap was basically in as of right now until we can confirm a break below this imbalance right here. I cannot say we're going to be looking at lower prices. If we can break this imbalance, invalidate it, come lower, then we have a much deeper buying opportunity, which I will take advantage of and buy more if we can break down below and retest that CME gap. As of right now, though, we do have a triangle pattern forming within discounted levels, creating just a deep value buying opportunity, right? So I took advantage of this. Going forward, though, now that we've been having imbalance gaps, retracements, fib extensions, all been just playing out perfectly with leading up to this triangle pattern within discounted ranges. We have just an amazing buying opportunity. There's no reason to really be overly invested in the chart at this moment, because if you have the same thing from previously, demand is still stronger than supply, regardless of retail sentiment, and you have much more accumulation happening in the background with a lot of companies and states. I believe New Hampshire and Texas are making big progress on their Bitcoin reserve, and I think it's basically established. I have to look into it a little bit more. But what we have right now is Bitcoin successfully, and I gave you guys this imbalance area in a previous video. I said I would like to see support within this retracement blue area, but it's much more likely that we can see the imbalance acting as support instead of the retracement area. Instead, we did exactly that. We found support within the imbalance area and we pushed up higher. But unlike previous times where I say I want to see a candle close within the imbalance to show a much more confident, much more stronger support to go off of, we had a wick, no candles closed in it, and then eventually we had candles close in it, eventually found support and pushed up higher. Same thing here. This imbalance only has a wick in it. There's no candles that closed in it, so it's very likely that we can go ahead and see that happen in the near future. And within this overall structure here, we can retest the retracement once again before we can push up higher. And then once we push up higher, once we do, because I'm very confident that we will, we won't just test this 1 week liquidity of 95K once again like we did here. Excuse me. If we can break it and hold this area even for a short period of time, that will confirm a change of structure. Right now, the structure was ruined back here with the fear. We found strong support, perfectly bottoming out, maxing out this red fib supportive area. It happened here, and here, and it's happened multiple times in the past, even this one right here. So understanding that and how strong these areas act as support, and understanding that we are currently seeing a higher low structure forming, there's just no reason to be feared out of Bitcoin. Q2 is coming up soon. Q2 usually tends to reiterate bullish trends, and at the same time, again, these tariff fears are not going to last forever, because tariff fears is a big negotiation thing. It is not sustainable. So eventually we will come out of that and we will start seeing the bullish move, continuing our bullish momentum. If we can break into this area, though, again, the new bullish structure will open up the pathways to finally make a new all-time high, and then that would, of course, lead us to much higher gains going through 2025. So I'm taking advantage of this by adding more to BITU, and I'm going to go over that position right now for you guys. So let's see what we got. So now we got $130,000 invested in BITU. We have 2,443 shares. The position is down at the moment 63.7K, which is 28% of the overall position. And I intend to add more because, again, it's such a, at least to me, it's super clear. It's a no-brainer. If you have something that is basically influenced by supply and demand continues to be aggressively more stronger than the supply, then what you have is a great asset to own, and to trade with, even short term throughout this year or within the next few months. And with that being said, when you have something like that and it is discounted aggressively due to outside fears of just broad economic stuff, because right now Wall Street is considering Bitcoin to be a risk on asset. So once money starts flowing into more growth oriented stocks, uh, flowing back into crypto when there is more of a less of a risk off environment, once a lot of this tariff fears goes, because that's the only thing holding us back, guys, is tariff fears potentially increasing inflation and then making it harder for the Federal Reserve to do its thing. But there's a lot of, U.S. jobs numbers are weak. They're getting weaker. Um, they're gonna have a hard time trying to hold this off for too long, just purely because of tariff fears potentially raising inflation. And the thing is, there's so many reasons. A lot of other even YouTubers talk about this too. But but at the end of the day, if you have fear pulling down something that in the background and it's researchable, it's strong supply, is not outweighing demand, and you have a continuation of adoption in the background, and you have foundations for Bitcoin, like especially in the U.S., just strengthening. These discounted levels are extremely attractive, and we will soon enough be back up here into the bullish movement that we're all seeing, because we haven't really been in this corrective move for a while. Again, we were starting to move up higher before the tariff fear. So once this all fades away, I'm expecting us to start making bigger moves higher. And for those Tom Lee lovers, which I love Tom Lee as well. He he's also very bullish on Bitcoin. He has his own reasons for it, so you don't even have to take my explanation. But yeah, I'm gonna continue. I have 130,000 invested into BitU, and I plan to add much more. If this supportive uh, imbalance fails, then we'll start looking at lower prices, potentially testing 80K. And I want to go ahead and aggressively add more before we soon go up higher. Because once we start moving up higher, there's not going to be any time to try to catch it. A lot of it's probably going to happen during market closed hours, when a lot of people are sleeping, especially if you're just looking to buy ETFs. It's just, you got to get in and you got to build up the army before the rally really starts, right? So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.